Hello everybody, welcome to this B2 First Certificate, that's FCE listening paper video course. In this video lesson we're going to focus on part 2 of the listening paper. So, in this lesson you will learn the best tips, technique, strategy to use in part 2 of the listening paper, and we will look at some real practice examples to practice using this strategy. So part 2 is called sentence completion. Let's quickly remind ourselves, how many questions are there in part 2? There are 10 questions. You only listen to one passage. You have no options to choose from. You can use a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 3 words to fill the sentence. And you have 45 seconds to read through the passage before the listening begins. And this, from the Cambridge English First Handbook for Teachers, tells us we need to listen for specific information as well as people's opinions, and it reminds us that it's just one long passage that we need to listen to. So time for my first tip. Before the listening begins, you should read through the passage quickly and think, what type of words do you need to go in the gap? So for example, if the word before the first gap is an adjective, then you probably need to write a noun in the gap. So you should think, do I need a noun? Do I need a verb? Do I need an adjective? What type of word goes in the gap? To help you decide what type of word goes in the gap, you should read about English word families and sentence structures. And this page here from my website is a really useful starting point to read about this. When reading through the passage, before the listening begins, you should also think, can I make a specific guess? For example, do I need to write a number in the gap? Maybe it's obvious that you need a number or a name, so you should think, can you make a specific guess before listening? So let's practice this. I'd like you to open sample paper 1 from the Cambridge English First 2015 listening document. And you can access this document by typing in this website here into your internet browser. So pause this video now and type this website into your internet browser, for example Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Safari. And when you've done that, press play. Okay. So hopefully you've done that, and if you've typed it in correctly, you should be looking at a page which looks like this. And if we move down this page, you will see something that says Format of the exam, and there's a table here, and in the table there is a listening section. What I would like you to do is ignore the audio files and just click on sample paper And if you click on sample paper, a document or a folder will download to your computer. When you've done that, you should find that folder and unzip it, and inside you will find some files which look like this. And I would like you to open this file here. And when you've opened this file, you should see a document which looks like this. Listening Sample Test 1. I advise you to read the instructions to candidates before getting into the exam, so you know exactly what you need to do, because there is some important information here. So read this, but I am going to continue down to part 2, which is on page 4. Speckled bears. And what I've done is I've actually copied the sentence with the first question that we need to answer, question number 9, into my presentation here. It might be a bit difficult for you to read it here, which is why I suggested opening it in this document as well. So, what I'd like you to do is to pause this video now and to think, what type of word do we need for number 9? Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Is it a verb? Etc. So write down what type of word we need, and when you're ready, press play. Okay, so hopefully you've done that. And when I did it, I know that the word before number 9 is the word the. The is what we call an article in English, and the word which comes after the in a sentence will probably be a noun, or it could be an adjective and then a noun. But I know that we will probably need a noun in the gap here. So time for my next tip, before looking at the answer. You need to write the same words that you hear from the recording. And after you've written your answer, you should read the whole sentence again to make sure that what you have written answers the question. So let's practice this again with this example here, which again you can look at in this page if it's easier, from the folder we downloaded earlier. And we know that we need a noun for the gap. So what I would like you to do is to now open the listening and listen to the audio track. So you can do that by going back to the folder that we downloaded, and there is one file in here which says MP3, and you can open this file, and when you've opened it, press pause, come back to my presentation, and I tell you that we need to go to 11 minutes and 53 seconds. This position in the audio track is where part 2 begins. So open this listening file here again and move it forward to 11 minutes and 53 seconds. Okay, so I would like you to listen to the first part of the recording and write down an answer for question 9. If you listen to around 14 minutes and 10 seconds, you will have heard the answer to this question. So once you get to 14 minutes and 10 seconds, you can pause the recording and come back to this presentation and try and think what the answer was to number 9. So pause this presentation now, listen to the audio track from 11 minutes 53 to 14 minutes and 10 seconds, try to find the answer for question number 9, and then press play on this recording. Okay, so hopefully you've done that. And this is what I wrote down. I wrote down that they tried to distract you, which they do a lot. They try and distract you from the correct answer by saying other people find the size and shape appealing. They want you to write down size and shape, which is not the correct answer. Because the lady says she likes the name. So when I listened, I wrote down the word name, not size and shape. Is name the right type of word? Yes, name is a noun. Is it written in the correct form? Yes, name is a singular noun. That's what we need here. Does it fit with the meaning of the sentence? Angela says that it was the name of the spectacled bear that first interested her. Yes, it does fit with the meaning of the sentence. And it is the correct answer. You could say a great name as well. That would be good. But just name is okay. Great is optional. So the correct answer is Angela says that it was the name of the spectacled bear that first interested her. Okay. Now for homework, what you should do is you should follow the tips and technique and strategy from this lesson in the same order to complete the rest of the part 2 questions here from this page. When you're listening to the audio file, you'll realize that you get to listen to the recording twice. So read through the passage for 45 seconds before the listening starts. Write down what you think goes in the gaps, what type of words, and if you can make a specific guess, make a specific guess. Then listen to the recording and write down the exact same words that you hear. Follow that strategy to complete the part 2 exercises from this page, but also you should download some more listening practice samples from YouTube. And you should listen to these when you're walking and driving around, but you should also practice using these strategies with the samples on YouTube. But make sure when you're looking at YouTube samples, you have the answers in the description with the video. The answers for these I will write in the description with this video, but you can also find them in the folder that we downloaded. There is an answer key here. If you open this file, you will see a document which looks like this. You need to make sure that you go to the one which says listening, which is here on the next page. And there you have the answers, and you can see the first one. It's great name. Okay. So you can also practice this by buying the first certificate workbook. And here is a link to where you can buy this workbook. You have 14 exercises in total with this workbook. Some of them are part 2 exercises. So remember, use this strategy and practice before the exam. If you want to practice this lesson or any other part of the listening or any other part of the first certificate B2 First exam paper, you can book live lessons with me by completing the form at this website here. If you complete the form on this web page, I will get in contact with you about my live lessons. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and in the next lesson we'll be focusing on the B2 First Certificate, that's FCE Listening Paper Part 3. So I'll see you in the next lesson, guys.